Cześć, z tej strony Ela Bernaś i witam w kolejnym odcinku podcastu To Luggage Trip Polka w Australii. Dzisiaj przenosimy się znowu do Europy, bo w końcu razem z Keremem będziemy nagrywać odcinek o Istambule. Także serdecznie Was zapraszam. Zaczynamy! Cześć, z tej strony Ela. Prowadzę bloga To Luggage Trip, na którego serdecznie Cię zapraszam. Od jakiegoś czasu mieszkam w Sydney i chcę się tutaj z Tobą dzielić informacjami o Australii, miejscach, które odwiedzam, jak i o codziennym życiu na drugim końcu świata. Bardzo mi miło, że jesteś tu ze mną. Okay, let's start. You ready?
Right. Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. In our previous episode, we were saying that I'm supposed to fly with you to Istanbul.
That's
how
correct.
we planned it.
Yes.
And we bought the tickets the same way how you came, so through Kiev.
Yes, yeah. From Warsaw to Kiev, Kiev to Istanbul.
Yes, much cheaper.
Much cheaper, yeah, instead of direct flight.
Yes. So our flight's supposed to be a Friday evening, and we're supposed to get like late night in Istanbul, have a good rest, sleep, and then have 2 days to meet the family and see Istanbul, because I never been there before. But it didn't went so smoothly.
Yes, because the plane from Warsaw delayed 45 minutes.
Yes. So
Therefore, we landed and we say goodbye to the plane we're supposed to be in.
yeah, so we miss our second flight. And actually the Kiev airport was one of the worst, I think, airport experience for me.
For me too.
Yeah, so we
Not the Kiev airport, but I can actually easily say Ukrainian Airlines was the worst one I ever came across.
yeah,
so
that's
far.
correct. People who are working there, to be honest, like I know it was late evening, but still they were not really helpful and they were not really nice, trying, you know.
They try to basically palm the hot potato to someone else.
I'd never heard of that
Yeah,
expression.
if you are in trouble
Yeah.
and you give this trouble to someone else,
Hot potato, like the
throwing
game.
the hot potato.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Ukrainian Airlines was just trying to give us the next day flight, which we couldn't accept it because we had
I was about to be there only 2 days. So.
2 days. So I went to check with the Turkish Airlines itself the first available flights, and it was actually 6 hours later. We just need to go into Ukraine to stay over in one town and come back quickly after 3 hours sleep and catch the next flight to Istanbul, which didn't go so badly. It was all right. We arrived next morning in Istanbul.
Yeah. But you have, I remember we were very tired because we didn't really sleep, like just really 2 hours in the hotel and then back to the airport.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to have morning breakfast with the family, with the
Yes.
parents.
Meet my parents.
We just actually pick up the key, have a little nap, and we tell them we're gonna come a bit later. So I remember how you planned it. You planned it that we're gonna have breakfast together, like Saturday, Sunday, and then we can just go to the city to show me Istanbul, basically, because I never been there. And yeah, that's what we did. We did breakfast with the family. It was really nice. Like Turkish breakfast is very rich to me, even like here, because a few times we went to this Turkish restaurant in Sydney.
Yes.
And it's like, big plate full of goods, cheese, olives, dips,
The
fruits,
people
nuts.
who doesn't experience the Turkish breakfast before, when they see first time, they think it's too much. But usually breakfast is the king's meal for the Turkish people, I would say. For me. I can't speak for all of them, but I love my breakfast. And
it was really nice.
Yeah. You have variety of olives, cheese, fresh vegetables, and pastry.
This pastry, because this is famous, like Turkish type of pastry.
Börek could be with cheese and spinach, could be with mince, could be with potato and onion. And simit.
It was really good.
Simit wouldn't make sense. Maybe the similar thing what we can say is bagel. That's very similar. Like those are main ingredients of the Turkish breakfast. And
we had some marmalade. I think your mom.
Oh yes, marmalade
it was
as
like
well.
Homemade.
Yeah, jam, marmalade.
Yeah. So we were chatting, which means like you were translating between me and the parents, because.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Basically, I don't speak Turkish. Well, now I know a bit more, but still, I wouldn't make a proper conversation. But that time, it was really nice. It was really nice to meet them in person, because before a few times we just say hello to each other on the WhatsApp video chat. Yeah. So then we went to the city.
Yes, we went.
And it was freezing.
City.
So like you were saying, Poland was cold.
Yeah, you.
Istanbul was. Wow.
I remember
because
like
it was
Poland
super
was
windy.
More cold. You saying Istanbul was more cold. I think it's Poland was more cold, but yeah, I'll take your word for it, because when it comes to measuring the cold, you are the boss.
But your mom made me a hat, so I had my hat, I had scarf, and we start, I think, our trip like in at like near the bridge and seaside.
Yeah, we started from the Bosphorus, the seashore. We parked the car and we walked through the Üsküdar shore, where it goes to Maiden Tower, and like a couple of things you need to see in the morning. At the same time, you need to see in the evening. So it's Maiden Tower. It's one of them. Yeah,
and I guess you took me to the most, like, I would say, iconic, most famous, like must-seen places.
That is yes. I have a very squeezed program for short visitors.
Actually, you prepare it well, because you were thinking like where to go, how to organize it, so I can see most of it.
Like there are a couple of places, luckily, around the Sultanahmet Square, which is Hagia Sophia system.
It's on the other side of the bridge.
Yes, it's in Europe side. It's in Europe side. It's in Sultanahmet Square, Topkapı Palace, Hagia Sophia Museum, Blue Mosque. Translation is Blue Mosque, but actually we call it Sultanahmet Mosque.
Yeah.
Blue is coming from the mosaics colors on the top.
So we took a ferry once to go to the other side.
So that's what I can suggest, actually. If you're gonna go to have a tour around Istanbul, it might be the idea might be comfortable to have your own car, but the parking and the traffic, it is so exhausting.
It was very crowded on the roads. Yeah.
Istanbul itself, it's a very crowded city. Like the official population is, I believe, 19 million. But unofficial, I can bet it's 25.
And it was winter, so it's not like season for tourists, but still there was so many people, and to each attraction there was a queue, and I was thinking like it's a long queue, and you were saying like, oh, it's nothing.
Yeah,
actually
it's nothing. Yes.
So so anyway, we're using public transport to move around, and I guess it was. I mean, it was good. It was working well, no?
From Anatolian side to the Europe side, it is iconic thing to do is take a ferry and go to the Eminönü section, which is where the trams are operating to go to Sultanahmet Square, which is just 10 minutes. And you are basically in the heart of Istanbul's history, where most of the touristic attractions are happening. For historical sites.
Because like this Blue Mosque, Hagia Sophia and the palace.
Yeah, the Topkapı
They're
Palace.
actually very close to each other.
Yes, they are.
Few minutes.
They are in
walking
1
distance,
kilometer radius,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah. So we went to Blue Mosque, and unfortunately, it was, I don't know if it's still under a renovation.
Yes.
So we could go inside, but the walls and the ceiling, I think, was a bit covered.
Yes, the dome was under
Yeah.
renovation. So this dome has blue mosaics.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the name comes. Mostly it's blue and the blue tones.
But I think the dome there is like the heart and the most beautiful thing.
Yes.
Because without that, the inside it's not like, I mean, probably amazing.
Yeah, it's not very spectacular.
Yeah.
Dome.
From outside, it looks very nice.
Yeah,
though.
it's
I
very
really like
big.
It.
That's one of the things. It's a very big dome compared to the technology at that time, how it's being built and how it stands against the old historical big earthquakes in Istanbul. It stayed in one piece. So there's a bit art, there's a bit science and architectural parts of it to consider it at the same time. But yeah, that was our actually only unlucky moment in entire trip, to not to see the mosaics of the dome itself, but they basically covered with a big panoramic photograph on the ceiling.
So you get the scarf to cover your head.
That is correct.
And when we got inside, we also
took
our shoes.
Yeah, shoes.
Yeah.
Don't take your foot, take your shoes. That's correct.
Yeah.
You need your foot to walk.
And then for me, I think one of the most beautiful places, it was this Hagia Sophia.
Yes, Hagia Sophia.
It's really amazing inside. It's so pretty. You can just walk around and stare. Doesn't matter which direction. It's so pretty, so beautiful.
So Hagia Sophia, it's Turkey. You could call it a really cultural mosaic, because it has been the home of many empires, from Greek, Byzantium, Roman, and Ottoman, and today's modern Turkey. The Hagia Sophia, built as a Byzantium cathedral in 537, then it became a Greek Orthodox church cathedral.
Yeah, because that's the interesting thing about this building. Like it changed
so many times for purpose.
Different purpose. Yeah.
And for 50 years, it was a Roman cathedral, because during the Fourth Crusade, Romans looted the Byzantine Empire, Greek Empire. And it was 50 or 60 years, it was a Roman Catholic church. Then it became again Greek church. Then Ottomans took over in 14th century. Then it became mosque. And I guess after the establishment of modern Turkey, they made it museum.
Yeah, because now it's
in starting from 1930s, it became a museum, because it harbored so many different cultural and religious richness inside of it. It became sort of museum. They wanted to kept it as a museum. But today there is a conversation happening to convert back the museum. To mosque again.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's they cracked the news. That means it's gonna happen in the next 6 months, or it's most likely might happen.
So the complex is pretty huge.
Yeah.
And you can go also on like level on the balconies.
Yes.
And it's really really beautiful. Like you have different mosaics and different walls with marmors, I think, no?
Mosaics, but
also like made like this
marbles.
Doors,
Yeah, marble doors and marble columns. And at that time, whatever it was famous, they brought it from all over the world to build this structure.
It really makes like great impression.
Yeah, you can see Jesus and Mary's golden mosaics on the one of the quarter domes. I guess it has 6 or 8 quarter domes, and each of them has different mosaics. Some of them half, some of them are still visible.
Yeah, some are a bit destroyed.
And at the same time, there are very big wooden circular shape names of Allah. In Islamic, it's written in Arabic. You can see in the 6 of them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And there's something interesting. There is a one column. It has a hole in it. The legend says if you put your thumb in it and turn it, if you're able to turn it 180 degree, no, 360, your wish will come true.
We're trying.
We tried it. I guess I never seen someone is able to do it. That's why it's a story.
And what is very interesting, there are cats living inside.
Oh, yes.
Because that was like surprise for me. I mean, generally, let's say Istanbul, it's a city where you see plenty of dogs and cats on the street.
Actually, there is a movie called Kedi, which is cat in Turkish. You can watch this movie. It just tells about
Animals in Istanbul.
Animals in Istanbul, but particularly cats.
Okay, because I never seen such a thing. Like those animals are homeless. They are homeless, but people are coming and feeding them with meat and other goods, and they're just like laying down on the sun, and they're like, I don't know, the part of the community.
That's correct. Yeah.
So it was surprised like to see those cats in Hagia Sophia.
Almost everybody looks after all the animals.
Yeah.
In their neighborhood. You seen the big fat dog in Üsküdar. The guys were feeding with big meats.
Yeah.
This dog was almost a little lion.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the animals are homeless, but they don't look like, poor or very thin. No, they like, you can tell someone is looking after them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So around this place, you took me to lunch to some restaurant, like kind of, top floor. So we could see actually the mosque, Blue Mosque, and Hagia Sophia from the top, which was also very nice.
That's correct. Good memory.
Yeah.
I forgot about that, but yeah.
I remember because it was really nice. Like you have the view at the sea on one side, and the other like those most famous beautiful buildings. So it was a good one.
Basically, on your left side, it was Galata. And Galata Bridge, and on the right side it was Hagia Sophia and Blue Mosque, and we could see the towers of Topkapı Palace as well.
Yes, so we went to this palace I think the next day.
Yes.
At the first thing in the morning, so we didn't have really too many people around us,
and
that was good. Yeah, and it's also like a big complex. There were many like buildings to see.
Yeah, it's basically a palace, and whatever the necessary things in the palace, you could visit them, the kitchens, the armory, the jewelry, what they were using it, their clothes. The harem was closed when we visited. It was under renovation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Topkapı Palace is where the sultans were living.
Mm-hmm. So I guess most of the time we're actually exploring the European side of Istanbul. Is that correct? Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. We were in the European side.
Yeah. So we went to Taksim.
Yes.
That's the I think famous also area in Istanbul that you have to
visit.
Visit.
We walked
old
in
trams.
Yes.
On the streets. Yeah.
Red.
It was
trams.
crowded, I guess. I remember. No, there's a lot of people during the day there.
And the skateboard guys, they hold on to this red tram, and they
that's correct.
they tag along with the tram as well. Yeah. This tram is not a very fast one. It's a really old school, like I don't know. It goes with.
It has a character. 15. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
And I wanted to have Turkish coffee experience, which is kind of Funny because I don't drink like strong coffee. For me, coffee is like, latte, mocha, like very milky coffee.
Hmm.
But like Turkish coffee is a thing. So I wanted to experience that. So I asked you to take me to the place and you find some cafe, you can say?
Yes. So
But it's like small like...
Taksim has the main street called Istiklal, but that's basically the shopping area. But the real character of Taksim is just behind the Istiklal street.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter where you go, you just find authentic places. And we went, just walk in.
But we are looking for this charcoal cafe.
Charcoal
so like
coffee.
that's the
Yes,
special way they
that's
actually
correct.
made it.
Yeah.
They make it.
Yeah, basically charcoal is in the middle. It's heating the sand, and sand boils the coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and hot sand.
So also how they make it, they make like in little pots, which has this
Jezve.
like clepsydra, I would say, shape.
Yeah.
Like the tea glass, it's also very small.
Oh,
No?
okay. You want
I'm
to talk
mixing.
about you're mixing. That's tea glass.
But
That is the
the
tea
other
glass.
looks different.
Yeah,
Okay,
coffee
okay.
has the little cup.
Okay.
Little cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's little because it's too dense and it's strong.
Yeah, so actually it was funny because the owner was angry with the guy who was making our coffee. Something happened, no?
That's
He
true.
kind of-
So you have a choice when you order a coffee. Basically, they ask you want plain, you want mild, you want with sugar.
Sugar with me, for me.
So mild means you put just 1 spoon of sugar or 1 cube of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask for sugar one, that means 2 spoons of sugar or 2 cubes of sugar. This guy was mixing the order.
I felt sorry for the guy.
Yes. Yeah.
The owner wasn't really happy because I guess he needs to throw the other, probably, yeah.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
It was very nice because it was super small place, and then other guests came and they were playing the like table games.
Yeah.
Because you told me like
Backgammon.
this is like popular kind of, I guess, in
Yes.
Turkey. Like you come for a tea or coffee and then you play those games. And I was trying my strong Turkish coffee.
Yes.
But they offer me also some
Turkish.
tea. I think it was colored like yellow, no, green,
Yeah, green. That's
with apple, no?
with apple. That's
Mhm.
that's correct. So we call it orelet, but I don't know in English. It's a flavored effervescent.
Yes, of course, everyone will understand. But to be honest, it doesn't
it's-
taste like normal tea. For me, it was similar like to kind of beverages.
Yeah, it is.
Which
It is
is
a
like-
hot fruity beverage,
Yeah.
and it is. It
Like
could be
orangeade
apple,
without
orange.
bubbles, you
yes, yeah,
kind of
it's
more
yeah.
like this.
It's really traditional in Turkish cafes.
Hmm. And I like that they serve in this special tea glass because it's very small. It's not like normal cup of glass.
Ah, yeah, it is.
It's like clepsydra shape. Is it?
Yeah.
It's
it-
very small.
It narrows down in the
Mm.
middle of it. It's a bit getting bigger in the
Like clepsydra,
bottom-
no? Is it
bot-
an English word?
bottom of it. I don't know. Maybe you should post a photo of it, and everybody could see it. Actually,
Yes.
Yeah.
There will be. Okay, so after you listen this episode, I'm gonna make some Insta stories on Instagram,
okay.
and I'm gonna post some photos from Istanbul trip,
Yeah, good one.
so you can
You
check.
can see this special tea glass.
Yeah. And evenings were exciting too because you took care of that and you invited me for romantic dinners
Yes, yes,
in
yes.
special place,
Or yeah, as I said
both
in
in towers.
yeah, both spectacular towers of
Yes.
Istanbul.
Mm.
Yeah, as I said in the beginning, you should see a couple of things in Istanbul during the night and during the morning. So you take the Maiden Tower in the morning, but you didn't know we're going to have a dinner there.
Yes.
So
and we have to say like it's at the sea. There is no way to.
That's correct. Yes.
Walk there.
So this Maiden Tower, it's in the middle of the sea in the Bosphorus.
There is a story with this. Maybe.
Yes.
You wanna tell?
So it's built by the Greeks, Athenians, AD 300s, to control the ships coming through Bosphorus, and it was the only sole purpose of this little island with the tower in it. There is a legend of it during the Byzantium Empire. One of the emperors had a daughter, and the prophecy was saying this daughter will die before she reaches the 18 years old. Emperor loved his daughter so much, locked her in this tower. That's where the maiden names is coming from. But guess what? There was a snake came through with a supply boat while she was grabbing an apple from the basket. Snake bite her on her 18th birthday, and she passed away. That's what's the
story.
But there is actually really more than 20 stories. This is the most memorable one, most common, most famous one.
Yeah, so I remember we were walking. It was like evening, and the boat came.
Yeah, so you can take a boat from either Anatolian side or from European side. From Anatolian side, you can take the boat from Üsküdar, and you can take the boat from Europe, Kabataş, and it takes literally 5 minutes from Üsküdar, 10 minutes maximum from Kabataş, and it's spectacular Bosphorus little tour for you to just go and have a nice time, have a dinner in the Maiden Tower.
So you need to, let's say, book like before.
That's,
of course, because
yes.
you were booking before.
You have to book it in advance. You can't just go in.
So it was full actually. I think all the table was taken. It's like
you have particular time there. You can book it 7 to 8, 8 to 9, or 7 to 7 to. There's certain time slot you have to be there, and your boat arrives accordingly.
And there's like setup menu, and you have few options that you can choose what you want for like entrance, mains, dessert. Yeah.
Yes, you have a couple of options. Yeah.
And we went also outside because there's this like terrace.
Yes, you can go to the top of the Maiden Tower, and you have a tree.
It was cold like hell.
Yes,
but it was beautiful because also what is nice, the bridge is lightened up.
Yeah,
so it looks really beautiful.
Bosphorus has 3 bridges now. The first bridge is 2 or 3 kilometers away from the Maiden Tower, and you can see it very easily.
Is it the longest one?
No, the third one is the longest one. No one ever passes because you have to pay too much money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was really, really nice, but then we went on the other night to another tower, Galata Tower.
That's correct.
It was even nicer.
Yeah. The Maiden Tower, it is nice. You should go tick the box. But for me and for you, I believe it. I can speak for both of us.
If you cannot do both, do Galata
Tower.
Do
the Galata Tower. Do the Galata Tower because but you need to be lucky to have a window seat.
That's true.
If you are in the middle, you see these little windows, and when I say windows, probably it is.
Like in the towers, they are small.
Small windows. Yeah. Small windows, but
we were sitting in the big window where the view was like really amazing.
Yes, we were
like
lucky
night
to.
View.
Yeah. We were lucky to get that seat and see the Topkapı Palace and Blue Mosque and Hagia Sophia plus the Galata Bridge
Yeah.
as well. If you are there during the weekend, it is gonna be hard to book it. But if you have an extension to the weekdays, I suggest you do the weekdays, and it's much more easy to organize it.
Mm-hmm.
And the food is authentic Ottoman foods. It's not traditional Turkish foods. It is from the old recipes that's not really available to all restaurants. As a Turkish person, I never had the food that I tasted, that I have it there.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's the favorite food of the conqueror of Istanbul.
But it was really good.
Yeah,
Really
yeah. We had a really.
So it's like beautiful view plus the food is really good.
Food is, yeah, and especially if I compare the Maiden Tower with the Galata Tower is a mile ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So definitely we recommend that. It was really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And also you can go to the top of the tower and you have now 360-degree view of Istanbul from the Galata Tower. Actually, there's an interesting story about Galata Tower.
I don't remember.
All right, the first person in the entire world who ever flew via paraglide was from Galata Tower to over the Maiden Tower to Üsküdar.
Oh, okay.
And there is a myth that he found Leonardo da Vinci's drawings and built the paraglide through
Based on it.
based on the drawings. Even there is a movie about it.
You made a movie about every.
Oh, that's true. It's true. Yeah. I like movies. I like history. So movie history. Yeah. But we don't have a movie for the Maiden Tower. I don't know.
So there is a gap to fill.
There is a gap to fill. Maybe there is one.
So there are two places that also made big impression on me. So was this basilic under the ground?
Yes, basilica system.
That one. So it's really also amazing. Like it's so beautiful. So there are these columns. I don't remember how many, but a lot of the columns.
I guess 104. I can't remember
but
exactly.
like
It's a lot.
plenty.
This was a water reservoir of Istanbul in old times.
Mm-hmm.
And this place is magical.
It is.
It is magical.
It's like dark, but just with the slides.
And yeah, I do not
warm lights
yeah.
to see the details on the columns. So they are carved in different way, and there is this Medusa.
Oh yeah, Medusa. Yeah, there is a Medusa's head.
Because
biggest column. Bottom you see the Medusa's head, and this place it has water in it, and you can see some fishes.
Yeah, you walk on particular
the
path. There's like
and then you can see fishes, and there is there's a water height 60-70 centimeters from the ground.
Yeah.
And if you are lucky, actually, I'm not a fan of it, but they are doing it. There's a classical music concerts in Basilica. If you're lucky, you might have the privilege of going there with the classical music.
It's a really beautiful place.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah.
And the other...
Wait, I have to say something here. There's a movie. There's a movie.
You know what? You're saying movie, but you never ever watch any with me. We need to change them then. Because we're telling it's not.
Because they are mostly horror movies or action movies. You don't like them.
Oh.
So this movie, I can't remember it's the Tom Hanks is acting. Dan Brown wrote the books. The second movie, it's Inferno. The last plot.
Da Vinci Code.
Da Vinci Code, Inferno. The last
I've seen this one.
10 minutes, it's in Basilica.
Oh, really?
Yes. Last 10 minutes, it's happening in the Basilica in Istanbul. Or 15, I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah, one more place I wanted to mention, it's this palace.
It's not a palace.
Okay.
It is a mosque.
Yeah, that's correct.
It's a mosque.
We've seen in the evening.
We've seen in the evening, and it's called
It's beautiful.
Ortaköy Mosque. It is placed in Ortaköy. Ortaköy is the place where the Bosphorus Bridge legs are starting.
Yeah, it's very near the
So
bridge.
you basically, when you go to Ortaköy, and when you are almost under the bridge, you very close. And during the night time, when the mosque lights up, it is a spectacular moment.
It's beautiful because the mosque it's like golden and the bridge is red.
Yeah.
Like in behind,
Yeah.
it looks really beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
So I guess we were super tired, but you said to me like there's one more place to see, and we decided to go, and
Yeah.
that was
It wasn't planned, but we had to do it. We didn't try it, but Ortaköy is very famous about a particular, let's say, fast food.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big potato, very big one. They cut it to the half, and you see a butter and cheese melting inside of the potato, and you put whatever you like it. It's vegetables, meat, whatever you
on
can
the
think
top
of it. Yeah, you mix it.
Mm.
When my friends visited from San Diego, they loved it. They loved it.
I guess then I want to do it next time.
Yes, certainly. And another interesting thing, apparently after the COVID-19, when the Bosphorus Sea get clearer, dolphins are swimming around
we
the
saw on
Ortaköy.
the internet.
Yes, that's exactly where we stayed
Yes.
on that little dock.
Yes, you showed.
The dolphins are there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like really short trip, just 2 days, but I feel like I've seen a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really nice to walk on the streets of Istanbul. And we had this chestnut, the baked chestnut, because there's a lot of like guys standing with this stands on the wheel,
true.
serving the chestnut, and I really like that. So
we call it
times.
chestnut kebab.
Yes.
Even my brother brought chestnut from Istanbul on the way back for her.
Yeah.
When I
2
said,
months ago. So we are chestnut lovers. I like baked chestnut, and you like Polish kasztanki.
Oh, that's that's correct. Yes.
So I think this episode is about to finish because we took quite a while. But we also want to give you one tip about the tickets, because normally the queue for these main attractions are huge, especially in the summer. But you actually know the way to not stand that long in the queue.
Yeah, so you have two options. One of them is buying online, and the second option is you can go. Literally, there are
machines,
automated machines.
Yeah,
you can buy without waiting from the automated machines. Choose the attraction. It's very easy to use it. You can either pay cash or card. You can go inside easily.
Yeah, but you need to know about it, because the ticket machines are like a bit further, so the queue is longer, and you might say, there's a queue, I'm just gonna stay in the queue. But you need to know about them, because you need to like pass the crowd and go. Yeah.
That is a very good point. Yeah, you might be...
Because you don't see it when you just go near the building.
Automated ticket machines, they are actually near the main ticket office. You can go and see it's like a vending machine or little ATM.
And I guess it doesn't matter which month you go, you will always have a lot of tourists there, but still it's worth to go.
Yes.
I'm looking forward for my next trip, so we can maybe see the other part of the city. And yeah, I mean, it was lovely. It was really lovely. I loved this trip, and it brings me so many good memories.
Yes, I'm glad you made it to Istanbul on time, thanks to the Ukrainian Airlines.
Yeah, okay guys, so thanks for listening. Have a good day or evening whenever you listen to that.
I have an idea. Shall we do Thailand or Fiji next time?
No, we should do Sydney.
Sydney. Okay, she both say Sydney. Wait for Sydney, guys. I'm overruled.
Well, I think there are some topics about
Okay.
living in Sydney or in Australia that we can chat about. So
All right.
I would say
All
let's choose something
Okej.
about the city
Tak.
we met
Tak,
and we
kochani.
live.
Tak. Dobrze.
Dziękuję.
Dobrze.
Okay. Yeah.
Dziękuję for listening. How this sounds.
Perfect. Your Polish is perfect. Yeah. Till the next one.
Bye.
Pa.